Okay, so do you want to hear how I manifested my future husband on the 11th of the 11th of the 2011 at 11 minutes past 11? If you're anything like me, I'm sure you've heard about the significance of many, many ones in a row. And you may have also heard about the law of attraction, how to manifest, the secret. So these are all things that I want to share with you, how I personally used the teachings in order to manifest very quickly my future husband, the love of my life, actually on that amazing time in history. So when I was in my 20s, I first came across the concept of manifestation. I had already been able to manifest something very extreme when I was a young child. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but basically all I can say was, while it was very exciting and amazing, and it showed me the potential of what I could create with my own thoughts, because I didn't really know how manifestation worked, I wasn't very specific about what I wanted. And so it ended up being something that started off amazing and ending up very painful. And it really taught me that, manifestation, if done wrong, can also be very scary. So when I actually read The Secret when I was about 25, that's when I learned that it was called manifesting. And then there was this law of attraction. And so because I already knew I had done that, I figured, well, if I could do it again, more formal and actually more specific, I could really get what I wanted in life. So fast forward a couple of years after I first heard about it, I was coming out of a pretty crappy relationship, and I had decided that I was done with bad relationships. I'd had a string of them, and I didn't want to keep repeating the same loops and attracting in the same kind of people. So I had spent about a year doing life coaching courses, more so to change my career, but in that process, uncovering things about myself that really needed to heal and that I needed to bring to the surface and change. And so that was an amazing part of the journey. So my first bit of advice for anyone that wants to manifest something into their life, especially love, you need to do that healing work. You need to do the clearing out. So go to a life coach, do a life coaching course, do loads of journaling, talk to people, really look at where the patterns are in the past. Where are they coming from? How can you change them? Do you have self-limiting beliefs? Or, you just really have to get to the bottom of your self to be able to attract in the right person. So you need to be in a really high vibe state. So because I had just done all these courses and I'd done all that work on myself and I had the level of introspection to know what I needed to adjust, I was in a perfect place to now manifest my dream partner. And so I decided I wanted to meet my future husband. And I knew I was in a good place and I had the foundation laid to be able to do that. So at the time, I was actually just finishing off a business that wasn't working out, and I was moving and I was under a lot of stress. And so I remember when I said, okay, I'm going to manifest my future husband, it was more like a sense of fantasy or escapism from my current stresses. So I decided that I would do a visualization of this scene where I'm with the person, and I would do it anytime I felt stressed throughout the day. So I think I was doing it like 3, sometimes even 5 times a day. Now I would only do it for like 2 to 5 minutes. Not very long. I would generally lie on my bed because I was working from home, but sometimes I would even do it from my desk and just close my eyes. And the thing was, I would always make sure that I could smell anything, that I could hear what was going on, that I could feel things, that I could obviously see the thing. So I was using all of my senses in the visualization. That's really important. The more detailed you can get and the more consistently you do the same mind movie over and over again, the stronger you are going to attract in that vision. So basically you've done the groundwork, you've made the decision of what you're manifesting, and then you're going to commit to doing this very detailed but short visualization at least 3 to 5 times throughout the day, for a concentrated amount of time, like maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. And so in my vision, I actually visualized that I was walking beside my partner and he had no face. And I think he was tall and it was snowing, even though it never really snows in Ireland, but that was in my vision. We were walking past Trinity College and we were coming home from a personal development seminar, because I had already written out a list of what I wanted to find in my ideal partner. And so that was actually a really critical part of being able to manifest him and being able to do the visualization, because you have to know what you want to be able to manifest it, right? It's like you can't give somebody a treasure map and say, okay, go find the treasure, but there's no X on the map. You have to know exactly what you're looking for in order to find it. So I had already done the groundwork when I was doing all my journaling about the exact characteristics. I used to call it my grocery shopping list for finding my ideal partner. And so when I did this visualization, one of the things I value was going to personal development talks. So of course I wanted to do that with my partner. So anyways, this vision, I did it about like 3 to 5 times a day for about 10 days. But the thing was, I wasn't attached to the outcome. It was more just a sense of like fun and like fantasy for me to get away from my day-to-day stresses. And so I didn't have any negative energy or expectations or, any resistance while I was doing it. And so I got called to come do an interview up in Dublin for a sales job. And when I went in to do the interview, I remember distinctly walking into the building, and to the left there was a glass room, and there was just all this like sea of men in like dress shirts and ties, maybe like 40 or 50 of them. And I never saw anyone's face, but I saw all these men, and I just thought, oh my God, I think my future husband is in that room. And at first I thought I was like going crazy, but then I kept, I just went ahead and I went into the interview. And because I had this strong vision that I was going to meet my future husband there, I was convinced that the job was already in the bag. And so I obviously nailed the interview, and they offered me the job on the spot, even though I've never had a sales job before that. I was actually changing careers. So next thing, I start the job. And at this point, I've kind of forgotten about this little funny challenge of visualizing my future husband. And I just got into working, and that was that. And about a week into the new job, I went on a corporate night out one Friday. And that was the night that I ended up meeting this guy from work who was really sweet and friendly, and we got on really, really well. And I thought I might have fancied him a little bit, but I wasn't sure. And then fast forward a couple of weeks and I'm in work, and I definitely decided that, yeah, I did like this guy. But he wasn't really talking to me, and he eventually told me he thought I was only like 20 or 21 and he was 38. But I was actually 28. So as soon as he kind of started to realize that I was actually 28, not 20, we were on another work night out about a month later. And this was on November 11th, 2011. Okay, 11/11/11. So, and at that time, I didn't even really know what the significance of all the ones was. A friend of mine had said that it was a special time in history, that things, were more powerful and spiritually aligned and all this good stuff. But I didn't really know much about it. So anyways, we went out that night, and as I walked into the bar, he actually was so happy to see me come into the bar with the other people from work that he picked me up and started swinging me all around the bar. And I didn't think he fancied me back at this point because he hadn't really talked to me the whole month. So then he went into the bathroom, and then I remember he came back out and he just grabbed me and gave me the most amazing first kiss you could ever imagine. And then when he put me down, obviously there was a lot of people from work there, and they were all kind of like, what was that? They were just shocked. And then this man came up to us he was sitting at the bar, and he had headphones on, and he said, was that your first kiss? And we both said, yeah. And he said, oh my gosh, do you know that you just had your first kiss at 11 minutes past 11 on the 11th of the 11th, 2011. And we both kind of looked at each other and said, really? And then he kind of just seemed to vanish, this guy with the headphones on. And I always have thought back, I thought, why was there a man standing at the bar with headphones on in a bar? It was just really odd. But it was like meant to be that he was there to tell us that we kissed at that time, because otherwise we would have no idea. And since then, he especially has seen the kind of 1 all the time. And so it's a really special number for us. And I know it was probably that time in history when, special things might have happened. And it was definitely like, it made us take each other more seriously. And so that night he asked me to be his girlfriend. And within 4 months he had proposed to me. And yeah, we got married then about 3 years in after meeting, and we've been married happily ever since, and we have 2 little boys and another one on the way. And yeah, that's how I manifested my dream husband. And it actually came to fruition at 11 at 11 minutes past 11, just using simple visualization techniques and being in a high vibe state and having done the work on myself. And I got the results that quickly. Now, since then, I've taught this technique to one other friend, and I added in for her, and I only taught her when I knew she was ready. She had to have done the work, or else I wouldn't share it with her, because then it wouldn't work, and then she would never try it when she was ready. So with her, I added in doTERRA's Rose Touch Oil, because that automatically brings you into a higher vibe state. It has a really good energetic frequency to it. So she was applying that like throughout the day for those couple of weeks, and she was doing her visualization just the way I just told you. And she actually met her future husband within the month, and they were married within the year. And this only happened like 2 years ago that they got married. So that was like a wow for me when I was able to actually show someone else and see it work that quickly. Just blew my mind. And then outside of that, I've used these techniques to attract in business goals and new business partners, and to grow my business to a level where I have real financial security and residual income. And I would have added in other things to kind of improve my results, right? So I was using more things like crystals, different essential oils. I would have gotten hypnotized. I would have used NLP. There's a lot of other things that I now would add into a manifestation practice, journaling, gratitude practice, quite a few extra tricks and tools that you can add in to boost your results. So I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope it's inspired you to start up your own manifestation practice. Maybe in another video, I will actually talk about a step-by-step program that you could follow. But that's all I wanted to share for you for now. And I hope you'll enjoy my channel. Bye.